Hamilton. Oh, all sorts of problems there. He's doing it again.
It's Formula One.
Guess where? Yes, Monte Carlo. A small principality in the Sterling area. Good afternoon from Monte Carlo in glorious weather.
Monte Carlo, playground for the rich and famous, historically the most glamorous place on the planet, and once a year plays host to a sporting spectacle.
Probably the premier Grand Prix, the best race in Europe for me.
A throwback to a bygone era when man and machine raced not around tracks, but through the streets.
It's one of the most demanding circuits of certainly its kind in the world.
It's a contest that has spawned many a great champion, and their insight into how to tackle this track remains as relevant now as it's always been.
If you can be first away, that's a big advantage.
How does this race compare with others in the World Championship?
It's definitely one of the toughest. The nature of the circuit is such that you require tremendous concentration.
Why do you think Monaco is so unique?
The sort of racetrack that seldom does the fastest car win. There's a very high mortality rate of vehicles here, so it's a question of the car that finishes.
In the smooth, slick world of F1 circuit, this is the fastest and the slowest, although that dilutes none of the drama.
But look at the front, going infinite man.
We usually see our fashion victories here, don't we?
Once the race starts, it seems to be more of a distraction derby.
So demanding, Graham. How often do you actually change gear?
Probably changing gear about 16 times a lap. Apart from changing gear, we've got to conduct ourselves with the car around the circuit in a proper fashion, and eyeball all the corners.
Chris, how should a driver approach a race like this?
If you go flat out here, the chances of finishing are very remote because it's so hard on the cars.
Overtaking prospects, low. Tire and brake wear, high. Downforce levels, very high.
It's right on his tail.
So why is overtaking so difficult here, then, Jack?
The cars are getting so wide now, it's very difficult to get past, and if you're in traffic, you've rather got to wait for someone to make a mistake before you can nip through.
The tunnel, Mirabeau, up and down the streets of Monte Carlo, in and out of the economy. Monaco, still the most glamorous race in the world. So what does it really mean to win?
And the way that Monaco, it's the most beautiful thing you could happen.
And Graham, one final thought from you. We're all desperate to relay the team defeat. Do you think their first Monaco win could come today?
They seem to have got quite a bit of power, and looking at the rear end of their car, they've made quite a lot of improvement. And I would say, with the drivers that they've got, they're going to be quite a threat.
Gentlemen, great to see you all again, and enjoy the 2009 Monaco Grand Prix. Thank you very much.
Button, the toast of Formula One. Or should he do the business again this weekend? The World Championship leader will be lucky if there's any bubbling left for the podium, such as the excess of round 6 of the season, the jewel in the crown, the Monaco Grand Prix. 1929, the first race was held here. 80 years later, the circuit's hardly changed, with the demands on the driver's fitness, attention and reactions as unforgiving and demanding as ever. And the seasons proved pretty demanding for you guys at home as well. Take your eye off what's been going on for a moment, and you're likely to miss something vital. And you'll need to keep your concentration levels up right through until the end of the season. 12 races from now at the inaugural Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in November. And by the time we get there, whose name will be at the top of the driver's standings, I wonder? Well, at the moment, Jenson Button's enjoying the comfort of a 14-point cushion over his teammate and fellow Brawn driver Rubens Barrichello. The Red Bulls of Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber, they'll be pushing for a win this weekend. They've looked impressive so far. Lewis Hamilton, he sits 7th behind the two Toyota drivers. He's locked with former teammate Fernando Alonso on 9 points. And as far as the Constructors' title race is going, well, it's going Brawn's way. 68 points so far, more than their two nearest rivals combined. Such has been their dominance. And McLaren, they'll be looking to move on from 13 points this weekend. And Ferrari, desperate to add to their disappointing haul of 6 points as soon as possible. And of course,
This weekend has seen
intense, drawn-out discussions between the FIA and FOTA, the Formula One Teams Association, with the future of F1 at stake. Everyone has their own agenda. The FIA want to impose budget caps, teams want a change in the way the sport is governed, and the venue for the discussions on how to cut costs was Force Blue, a motor yacht which cost nearly £250,000 per week to rent and is owned by Flavio Briatore. There appear to be two very differing moods amongst the FOTA members going into this meeting. One group, led by Ferrari and including Renault, Red Bull and Toyota, talking ever more seriously about forming their own breakaway series, while others are being more conciliatory. And it was the peacemakers that won out. During the 2.5-hour meeting, Bernie Ecclestone persuaded Ferrari to step back from the brink and commit to staying in F1 rather than creating another championship. Ecclestone stands to lose more money than anyone else if F1 falls apart. Teams were united and prepared to concede some ground as they went to meet Max Mosley.
We are all together and we will be in a position to go the chairman of FIA, saying in a very constructive but very clear way the position of FOTA.
The next thing to negotiate was the 300 metres between Flavio's yacht and the Monaco Automobile Club, the venue for the next confrontation.
Was that a good meeting?
Very good and constructive meeting. We will do another one.
Max, what kind of progress was made today, if any?
We had a good constructive meeting and there are ongoing discussions.
Were you satisfied with what they brought to the table? Did they make any further moves?
The discussions are ongoing.
But you clearly didn't think it was really up to much, did you?
Well, we spent 3 hours.
More discussions are being held today before and after qualifying. We understand the teams are willing to give way on a budget cap if they get more money from Ecclestone via a new Concord agreement and rule stability from the FIA. But it seems the drivers are the only ones who realise how damaging this is for F1's image.
Is not anyone realize that what the damage of the sport we are making now, you know, because the Formula One value is getting down, you know, because all these fights, all these politics, and maybe we lose the jobs next year, the mechanics, the engineers, the whole teams, 1,000 people maybe lose the job, drivers as well, maybe for me it's last time in Monaco, we don't know, and it seems that no one sit down and think what we are doing to our sport.
Well, certainly this story is going to bubble under.
That's not enough at all. My word about Lewis Hamilton. Where are you going?
Yes, Lewis Hamilton is not